OBP's teams deliver from day one, thanks to a unique approach to building freight forwarding talent. What does that actually look like, and how does it make a difference? Let's find out. Welcome back to OBP Connect. I'm Bea, and this is the official offshoring podcast brought to you by Offshore Business Processing, where connections meet solutions for your success. In today's episode, we're pulling back the curtain on our training efforts. We'll break down what makes OBP's freight forwarding training truly effective and find out the real foundation to reliable talent. Our guest today comes straight from our training department, Trainer Says, an organizational development trainer here at OBP. With nearly 2 years of experience in onboarding and client-specific training, she now leads efforts in learning and development, training effectiveness, and employee capability and culture building. So welcome to the show, Trainer Says.
Hi, Rhea. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so great to have you on the show. But before we dig into today's topic, let's have our listeners learn a little more about you.
All right, let's do it.
So you already know how this goes. It's time to fast track and fire away. I'll be asking 5 quick questions about you and your work, and just say the first word or phrase that comes to mind. Ready?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so favorite part of your job?
Seeing people grow from being new to being confident in their roles.
Hardest thing to explain about what you do?
That training isn't just about classes or courses. There's a lot of work that happens behind the scenes.
Most common misconception about your role?
I'd say the same. People think we just create courses, but in reality, we create the conditions for learning, performance, and behavior change, and that goes beyond PowerPoint slides.
Ooh, I hear you on that one. So, a part of your work that really tests your skills?
Designing solutions for different learning needs and balancing that with business requirements and operational realities.
Ooh, how about most important task in your role?
A really broad understanding of human behavior.
Ooh, that last phrase was really interesting, actually. So, on top of being a trainer, it's almost like you're some sort of detective.
Yes, detective is a funny word for it, but it's true. I observe people, I spot patterns, and I make predictions based on that. So I guess that's a simplified version of what I meant.
That's a really interesting way to put things. And I'm sure we're going to learn more about that later on. And that's Fast Track. Thank you so much for those insightful answers, Trainer Says. It really gave us a glimpse into what you do. Now, here we are across the desk. So let's hear it. So to start, can you give us an overview of OBP's training team? What are the different roles and specializations that we have?
Okay, so our training and development team consists of Know-How trainers, client-specific trainers, and organizational development trainer. So as the title suggests, trainers handle onboarding, operational training specific to the clients, leadership development, and organizational development initiatives. Right? So meaning from day one and throughout their journey, we're there to continuously support them. But even though each role has their own focus, of course, we all work toward the same goal, which is preparing employees to perform successfully and confidently in their roles.
That sounds really interesting, and it sounds very active and engaged.
Yeah, very much so. It helps so that all trainers go through all the different roles as well, so we're really adaptable.
I think that's a really smart move. And so, given those specializations, what do you think makes OBP's trainers stand out, particularly in freight forwarding?
Yeah, well, what makes our trainers stand out is that we actually have hands-on operational experience. That means we go beyond just teaching concepts and definitions. So we understand what really happens in freight forwarding operations, the actual workflows, challenges, and expectations.
Okay.
It's through this experience and knowledge, Bea, that we connect our applied theory to the real world, and we provide practical guidance for our employees.
I see. And how exactly does that, manifest or show up?
Well, for example, I was to explain what freight forwarding means. I won't stop at defining the dictionary definition of those words. I would focus more on giving real-world examples so that trainees will understand, and they will understand it best if it's explained in the context of where they are, what they do, and what they know.
Right, and that's such a thoughtful approach.
Yeah, because we're very aware that freight forwarding is quite the niche, so we need to really make sure they understand.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that, Trainer Says. So, how about let's see the broader picture of how the whole process goes? So, can you walk us through the structured learning path every employee follows for freight forwarding?
Of course. So, for an OVP employee's learning journey, it starts with the company onboarding. So, at this stage, they learn about OVP's culture, policies, and expectations.
Right.
So, this is where we set professionalism. So, from there, they move into role specific and freight forwarding fundamentals training. So, this is where we establish a solid foundation and understanding, as I explained earlier, contextually to their role and industry. So once that foundation is set in place, they then receive client-specific process training,
Oh.
right? And that includes all practical exercises, assessments, and guided, practice, including the specific platforms so that they'll be using. And after everything, foundations and technical skills, and even building a relationship with the client, we then validate that they're able to perform the required tasks independently and accurately.
Wow, that's a lot, and that's a very thorough process.
Yes, it is, Bea. And not to mention, we're also the ones documenting the process as well. That's called the Standard Operating Procedures, or SOP.
Yeah, and it really goes to show how crucial every small step is,
Yeah, exactly.
So, from all of these steps in the training ground, as we all know now, the real world can be a whole different challenge. How do you prepare the employees for the realities of client operations when they're on the production floor?
Yeah.
You did mention teaching the context of things, but once they're actually there, how does that play out?
Yeah, I know, and that is really true. So what we do is to focus heavily on practical application. This means simulations, process walkthroughs, case studies, and hands-on exercises to, help them experience what the role is actually like. And we also set clear expectations regarding productivity, quality, communication, and problem solving. So we really prepare their minds on what they need to do. We check in on them and assess what support they need. So really, it's all about staying aware, lots of communication and taking action when needed.
Yeah, and I can imagine that can be really hard to know what certain employees are really thinking or going through once they're there. So being open to support and guide them is the way to go.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why I said earlier, there's a behavioral aspect to it that, needs careful attention.
I really hear you on that, Trina says. And I want to explore that more in my next question, actually. And I think this is like the last big question for this segment. So how do you actually determine when someone is ready to be deployed?
Yeah, well, we have multiple measures to evaluate readiness. So we check whether they've retained the knowledge we trained them on and whether they can apply it effectively to their work. So we assess their accuracy, process understanding, all those things.
So that's probably based on numbers, right?
Yeah, so beyond those numbers, we also gather observations from other people, trainers, and stakeholders involved in their learning journey, because observations help us identify their overall, number one, confidence, and if they demonstrate the ability or commitment to be successful, in their role.
That makes so much sense. And it's about really getting the entire picture, right?
Yes, Bea, because, as much as our approach is comprehensive, we also want to be realistic and practical.
That's a really balanced way to go about it, Trainer says. Well, our discussion has been really insightful so far. I'm loving it. And we're going to explore more on that with some specific examples and also see how these methods actually impact our clients. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short message. Access reliable offshoring solutions for your freight forwarding business. Our team knows how crucial and time-sensitive operations are to your success. Discover how our proven approach can help you reach operational growth and efficiency. Download our brochure from the resources page at offshorebusinessprocessing.com to get started. Welcome back to OVP Connect. Now let's get specific. Case in point, real scenarios, real answers. So, Trainer says, as we've lightly touched on, not every learning journey is linear, as you said. Can you then share how OBP's trainers support employees who need additional coaching?
Yeah. Well, we recognize, right, that people learn differently. And when someone needs additional support, as trainers, we provide targeted coaching sessions and one-on-one feedback.
I see. Can you tell me what goes on in these conversations, though?
Of course. We usually ask first how they are, and then eventually we reach out to learn more about them, where they're at, their motivations, and way of thinking. So before I can propose a solution, I need to first know what kind of person I'm dealing with.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, you can think of us like doctors. We need to know the employee's specific point of struggle. It's about asking the right questions, and ultimately, our goal to help employees overcome these challenges and build their confidence. Or as you mentioned earlier, it's like being a detective.
Detective, doctor.
Yeah, I know.
There's something really human about how you said that, trainer says. And I really like that answer. And as a trainer, you really get to the bottom of things and you don't brush it off to the side.
Yes, Bea. Because, we have to. We're dealing with real people and, real lives here.
I hear you on that. And speaking of which, let's turn to what this means for clients and see the real impact, right? So can you share any specific feedback that clients give about the readiness of OBP teams?
Yeah, I'm happy to share that. So one piece of feedback we often hear is that our employees are well prepared and adapt quickly to client processes. So they also often mention how OBP teams contribute, faster and require less ramp-up time.
Do you have any client experience in mind as an example?
Yeah, I can give you one example. So there's this one account I handled, and they're one of our, DVIPs. The client went and conducted the training here on site. And they were very, fast-paced. And after a task has been, discussed, they process it right then and there.
Yeah.
So then after that training, the client went back to Australia and they provided feedback. So in their feedback, they expressed how happy and confident they are with our operators. So they really appreciate how the OBP team has strong understanding of freight forwarding fundamentals.
Interesting. So it's really one of the key aspects.
Yeah, because what's often a challenge for freight forwarders is that when they teach other operators how to do the tasks, the operators don't know why they even need to do it. That means they don't feel the weight of the task.
Ooh, that's a really interesting distinction.
Exactly.
There is a big difference between just doing something because you're told to and doing something because you understand what's at stake here.
Yeah, on point. And that's the kind of training we have here at OBP. Our teams operate at a level wherein clients don't need to teach them the basics of how their business works, and it saves a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, and that's a really good thing to build on. So based on feedback, clients are happy, they feel confident about us. So then let's look at the concrete outcome,
Yeah.
Can you share examples of how OBP's training approach impacted a client's operations?
Sure. Well, the impact of our training approach to clients' operation is that basically the transition was a lot smoother. It saves them time, and the team was able to meet performance goals faster than expected. And when the transition is smooth and the team performs above expectations, then clients are very much assured and confident, which is what we like, right? They don't have to worry anymore.
Yeah.
Efficiency is on their side, and trust is built between OBP and the clients.
I like that, building trust. When you're assured and you can trust your team, how you operate does become like a breeze, right?
Yes. And that is so true, and it applies to any team.
Absolutely. Well, you really walked us through what reliable teams mean here at OBP, the solid foundations, the ongoing support, understanding what's at stake, and building that trust. All very important aspects of a successful freight forwarding training. Let's wrap up with a sign-off. So trainer says, from your own perspective, why should training be a key consideration when selecting an outsourcing partner?
Yeah, well, because people are ultimately the ones delivering results, right? Even with great technology and processes, success still depends on employees who can do it and who can do it consistently. And training is a big part of making that happen. A strong training program reduces risks, shortens learning curves, improves quality, and helps ensure long-term success.
Absolutely, and those are benefits that are worth counting on. So, trainer, how do you then see OBP's training approach changing to meet evolving needs?
Yeah, well, Bea, I would say learning needs continue to evolve, right? So our, approach must evolve as well. So what we did 3 years ago is different from what we do today. We're always improving, and we're expanding our use of e-learning, data-driven training decisions, AI-assisted learning tools, and more personalized development paths. Because the goal here is to create learning experiences that are scalable, flexible, and aligned with changing business needs.
So essentially, continuous improvement. And that is something we strive towards at every level. And with that, trainer, what is one thing you want freight forwarding companies to know about OBP's approach to developing talent?
Yeah, well, what I want them to know is that at OBP, training is an ongoing investment. We develop people who are capable and ready to deliver results and to grow alongside your business. Because when our employees succeed, our clients succeed too. And that's what drives everything we do at OBP.
Wow, trainer says, what a great note to finish on. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights today. And I'm sure our listeners learned a lot about what really goes on behind the scenes of training successful and reliable offshore teams.
Yeah, of course, Bear. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
And thank you everyone for listening. You can follow Offshore Business Processing on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube for more industry insights. And for more information on our services, just visit offshorebusinessprocessing.com. This has been OBP Connect, where connections meet solutions for your success.